Dear brothers, the most important issue here is knowledge without faith leads to emptiness. It's nothing useful. I'm giving you some of the examples. Look at the societies in East Asia such as China, Japan and South Korea. They have advanced in technology and science and they supply products to almost every corner of the world. Their economic achievements are remarkable, but many of them are atheists and lack a spiritual spirit. Their lives become extremely busy, exhausting and emotionally restless. A growing number are no longer interested in doing marriage, do not establish families and often live alone. So as a result, many forget their family members, parents, siblings and relatives. When no one cares for them, they collapse mentally and emotionally. So this is happening because material development alone has turned life into a machine without heart. The feeling of connection and engagement with others has weakened. Dear brothers, this ayah is completely reflected in those societies, especially when sometimes we get tragic news that an elderly people dying alone in isolation, with no one aware of their condition, no family, no visitors, even no funeral. Days later, when neighbors notice a bad smell, they discover that body has already decomposed. So this happens because their lives became centered on materialism. They loved wealth but neglected their parents and relatives. They were too busy chasing money to care for the people who once cared for them. So this is one of the worst forms of disrespect to the human body, to the human being. It is deeply unfortunate and heartbreaking. A human being can build rockets, design robots, and create wealth, still feel empty if the heart does not know its creator. The Prophet ﷺ said, لَيْسَ الْغَنِيُّ عَنْ كَثْرَةِ الْعَرْضِ وَلَكِنَّ الْغَنِيُّ عَنِ النَّفْسِ. True richness is the richness of the soul, is the richness of the personality, is the richness of the character, is the richness of the knowledge. So let us teach our children and encourage them to seek knowledge of the dunya to build our future, and seek knowledge of Quran to build your soul for succeeding in the hereafter. So only when both becomes combined, human being become complete. And now, dear brothers, please look at the West. They have leadership over much of the world because they have knowledge. They established world famous universities that give them the insight to understand global directions. They have influential scholars who guide them in economic development, scientific progress, and advanced military technology, military strategy, which helps them maintain power and supremacy in the world. But despite all this advancement, many of them do not believe in God and they do not hold on to religion. And as a result, their family systems are collapsing. Children often grow up isolated, lonely, and emotionally disconnected, suffering from stress, depression, and anxiety. Some even fall into extreme despair, leading to tragic outcomes like suicide or mental breakdowns. Sometimes they commit acts of violence, taking guns in their hands and shoot indiscriminately in schools and crowds, harming innocent people and finally destroy their own lives as well. Allah says, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. Whoever turns away from my remembrance, I'm saying it again, whoever turns away from my remembrance, for him is a life of hardship. For him is a life of hardship.